Hello, everyone, and Madaya! I want to share some tidbits with you all. So, last night I was watching an interview with Praveen Mohan. I've been following his channel on YouTube for a while now. He likes to explore a lot of old Hindu temples and temples around the world, pointing out their similarities. So, he's in the theory that there was someone, something, some being, some race who are influencing these civilizations. The very old civilizations. Yes, there was technology available at that time, but somebody inspired them to do it or to come up with these types of technology, including warfare and the building of those temples. And then he said something that really got me thinking, and I'm like, yes, all right. So here's what he said. In the Mahabharata, which is very essential to Hindu culture, there are a race that they call the Sarpas. Now, the Sarpas are the snake-like beings. And among the Sarpas are the deity-like Nagas. Now, Nagas is not just in India. There are a lot of Nagas in Asian culture, even in Southeast Asia. In fact, here in the Philippines, we have a place called Naga because the river is very snake-like in shape or in its curvature. And then he pointed out that if in Hindu mythology it is Sarpas, in Israeli it's Seraph or Sarap, the burning ones. Now that the burning ones, the Sarap, actually became Seraph, which is the seraphim, angels. Now the seraphim were in some biblical texts snake-like but with wings because they flew. And then in some very old Islamic and pre-Islamic culture, the Seraph were also zoomorphic. So they could be of different, some of them are lion-headed. I think it's more of akin to Isaiah's description of them. But they are six-winged beings. Most of them are zoomorphic, and all of them angelic or divine in origin. Now it got me thinking, wait a minute. Angelic beings who came down to earth and, well, according to the Hindu tradition, the Nagas took human wives. And there. Isn't that the story of the Watchers from the book of Enoch and also Genesis 6? So these angels, because angels, they actually don't look human. They do have human appearance when they need to or when they want to, but the angels are actually very different from what Michelangelo and Raphael and all the other olden times art masters depict them to be. Cherubim, seraphims, all of those. They don't look like those cute or androgynous looking angels that we see in paintings. No. A lot of them can really freak you out. Ever wonder why all the time when angels appear, their first words are, "Be not afraid"? That's for a reason. That's for a reason. Can you imagine? Some descriptions of angels are like it's a wheel with an eye circled by 8 wheels and lots of eyes, or things that shifts to all direction. 6-winged beings with 4 heads and different aspects of it, and a lot of them are zoomorphic. In other words, animal-like. So it's no surprise when these watchers fell. And they fell because, number one, they wanted to wed human women, which was not allowed by God. And number two, they wanted to be as God. And that's why they are the gods of mythology that we see in ancient times. And a lot of them do have very animal aspects, especially here in Asia. We have a lot of gods who look like animals. Monkey King, serpent gods, even in Mesoamerican. There's a lot of them who are, what's this, animal looking gods. And they're even named in what's this, Sumerian texts. They're even named in, or at least described in, Greek mythology. So a lot of these things right now we could, like, because internet and access to all this technology and research is very open to us. Now we can connect the dots. I'm like, oh great, the things that just look so wow, it's so intriguing because I love history and I love culture, and these things will tell you about culture. And the more I read it, it's like, oh yep, everything's interconnected. What they call watchers, what they call gods, what they call mythology, they had one source. Now it's up to you to interpret what do you feel those sources are, because in my head, well, for me personally, I think that, oh my gosh, these are the watchers. They came down here, they wanted to be God, and then they became the gods of mythology. And there they are, running amok here, and the demigods are the Nephilims, who were giants of old, men of renown, people who are in our epics. Who do you think men of renown are? So there you go. Isn't it like, whoa. So if they're telling you that there are some mythologies older than the Bible, who says just because somebody wrote down the Bible a little later doesn't mean it's a later invention? Because remember, back then the Bible was passed down orally. It was passed orally because it was the watchers who gave us the alphabets. So we didn't want to use alphabets, written hieroglyphs, cuneiform, things like that, because those were given to us by the watchers. So yeah, so for the longest time, the Bible and all its books were given to our ancestors orally. Like here in the Philippines, people are not respecting our prehistory as a history because we did not have written language then. Not very many. And then when we did have written language, it was a little later. Of course, way older than Magellan, but still a little later. We passed down knowledge through oral literature, the oral way. We tell our kids. Mothers would pass it down to daughters, sons would pass it down to fathers. People would go around the campfire, and then the storytellers of the village will pass it down. And that's how knowledge gets passed down, and that's how the Bible used to get passed down back then. So I hope these things will help you guys get more context, get more details, get more understanding. Because right now, we are in that age where we can understand. So thank you, everybody. And if you have your own research, good for you. I do encourage you to do your own research. I did a bit of my research after I watched that interview last night. So up to you guys to do yours. So bye, everybody, and Madayaw!